It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi guys, good afternoon from my side. 26th of August 2019. It's 4:15 p.m. CT, 3:15 London if you want. Piotr here, and this time we are going to make a crypto update. So we are about to discuss Bitcoin, Ethereum. If we are going to have a time or question, we might try to check a few other charts as well. Before we start, risk warning as usual, guys, please bear in mind trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all initial investment, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Alright, so let's have a look what we have from that chart perspective. Let's start with Bitcoin versus dollar, and let's start from the higher time frame perspective, from the monthly chart, as we also approaching end of the month. And to be honest with you, doesn't look great, right? Maybe it's not catastrophic candle of August, but it doesn't look good. The thing is that we are trying to create another inside bar inside the previous inside bar, right? So in that case, trying to translate into easier language, meaning that we have, compared to the previous month, we have a lower high, but at the same time we have higher low, right? And similar situation we had in July, when there was a lower high and higher low. So on one hand, that's what I don't like, and as I am big bull here, that's what I don't like is the lower highs, right? Here, June, when we tested 2018 yearly open, right? Then July, we were not able to hit more stops to the upside. We were not able to move through 14,000, right? And finally here July, okay, another lower high. On the other hand, as I mentioned, July and August, of course August is still a few days left, we didn't create lower low as well, so we have a lower high. So from that perspective, one can argue maybe we can try to create some triangle, right? And based on what we've seen this year, it might be some kind of the flag and preparation to try to continue to the upside. And now, you know, we already discussed this possibility a few times. What I'm talking about is the thing that we are still trying to hold the place from where we went lower, from where we broke through 6,000, reaching 3,000 and 3,500, right? So we are still trying to hold this latest weakness, but the thing is, when we are talking about and looking at this candle from the July 2018, right? Because that's what we are talking about here. Okay, it hasn't been tested yet, just once in June. Okay, well, not great stuff here, and that might be the reason the market may want to try to push the prices lower. But if that's going to happen, there's gonna be, in that case, in this formation, that's gonna be negative, because it's gonna be attempt to break lower. Of course, the lower shadows and stuff like this, but that's the monthly chart. So from my perspective, good thing is that we are still trying to hold 10,000, and that's what we have to be. Careful right now, and at least towards end of the month, trying to have this positive body. Let's switch to the weekly chart, because here there are few things I don't like, right? These upper shadows and lower highs. But the good thing is that from the weekly chart perspective, it looks a little bit better, just a little bit, but looks better, because here clearly we have Riley, we have this big base on the weekly, and we have a continuation to the upside. For now, what we are trying to hold, right, was this weakness over here, but we have a good base right here, right? And we still might see, so overall, I'm talking about this base over here, right? It corresponds, the first or top of that zone corresponds with this latest weakness from the monthly. So we are talking about the levels around 8,500, 8,200. So it's time right now to try to discuss a little bit more, going into the details in relation to the latest price action, having in mind this base. So what we have here, if you remember, in June we held 3 educational webinars where we were talking possible supply, possible demand levels. So right now here what we have, it was Riley, base, and continuation. So right now, from the possible demand supply theory, we should retest this base. And actually we didn't quite test that one yet, right? So if you remember what we are talking about, not big changes into previously discussed plan, right? It's still possibility that we are going to retest the base. It's still possible that because of this equal moves to the downside, we might retest something in between 8,500, 7,800, right? And that would be also good. That's why I've mentioned that weekly doesn't look that bad. That also could be bottom of the channel. That also could be bottom of the channel, right? And trying to take into the consideration bigger picture, that might be big flag creation. And here, from the weekly chart perspective, I really like it. I really like it if it looks like this. Now, because of what we've seen lately, because of the growing tension between the US and China, and if the explanation of the previous Bitcoin strength was correct, that is going higher because of what is going on with Chinese yuan, because of what is going on in Hong Kong, because of the growing tensions between US and China. So the latest story, okay, the latest story from last Friday, when the first China hit back US with the tariffs, when Mr. President Trump looks like he lost his patience, and he even tweeted that frankly they don't need China, right? There was a little bit of the preparation to calm the situation down over the course of the weekend, but anyway, the still situation is on. So switching lower to the daily chart, as you can see, over the course, especially over the course of the Tokyo session, the market was trying to push Bitcoin higher, right? Market was trying to push Bitcoin higher. So we are here on a daily chart right now. We have these waves we discussed, but there is one thing. As long as we are above 10K on Bitcoin, and as long as we are above 10K on Bitcoin, there is a possibility that, taking into the consideration the wave number 2 over here, right? The wave number 2 over here, there was a small wave which created, we can call it equal bottom, right? So that was this wave. Now, if we are going to make the measure of the latest move without the shadows, that's equal, right? So maybe, just maybe, as long as we are above 10,000, 9,800, right? What happened after this small wave? We have a rally. We have the small pullback. Maybe we are about to see the rally. Okay? And that could make sense, because rally from here, right? Rally from here, as you can see, that would be retest of this swing high. So that's actually very, very logical. And actually, to be honest with you, I like this perspective. But the thing is, truly, I am a fan of the quick retest of this 8,500, 7,800, and straight rally from here, creating the big bull flag and going much higher through this year high, right? That would open retest of the 20K, so, and possibility of moving higher. So trying to summarize the Bitcoin chart right now, we are, for the last few days, we are inside a very narrow range. To the downside, we are talking about the 10,000 psychological level and 9,800 just below as a possible zone. To the upside, we are talking about what we previously seen, 10,500 here, right? And usually the 10,500 in the past used to work as a supply or demand. So 10,500 to the upside, and above that level we are talking about the 10,800, 11,000, right? So right now, in my opinion, the big fight is going on, meaning that from small traders perspective, small investors perspective, maybe it's time to try to be a little bit more patient and try to from the midterm perspective wait for either break to the upside and close above 11,000, or break to the downside and close below 9,800, right? Of course, from the short-term perspective, you can use that narrow range from intraday perspective, for day traders, you may try to trade 9,800, 10,000 as a possibility to try to be long, and 10,500 or a little bit higher, 10,800, 11,000 as a possibility to try to trade a short side from the top of that range. So that's how I see the Bitcoin from now. I do understand that we might try to hold this 10K and with this equal wave push towards 13,000 again. But if we are going to break through 9,800, I do understand that we may try to make the move equal to the two previous waves. In that case, we might retest 8,500, 8,200, 7,800, right? But what might happen in case of the break below? Well, that's probably something we can discuss next time. I do not expect it's going to happen anytime soon, right? In my opinion, the worst case scenario right now is a break below 9,800, delay of the bullish move, trying to fulfill the big flag retest of the bottom of the channel and rally from the zone of 805,000 to 7,800. That's how I see the things on the Bitcoin. So let's have a look what we have. Hi Mer, how you doing? Yeah, thank you for a kind word, but you know, that's how I see the things, right? And but anyway, just thank you, Mer, for the kind words. Let's switch to the Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We were discussing this stuff as well, and there is nothing, really nothing to add compared to what we had a few days ago when we had a previous meeting. We talked about 0.02 and we are still below 0.02, meaning that overall I do understand that Ethereum is weaker, right? And I do understand that as I'm trying to watch Ethereum, Bitcoin also from the other altcoins perspective, right? So in my opinion, as long as we are below this 0.02, right, there is a possibility that we are going to see more red in relation to other altcoins, right? In case of the move back above 0.02 on the Ethereum versus Bitcoin, then I might change my personal view of how I see the rest of the altcoins. Right now, the best thing may happen is some kind of the consolidation. That's the weekly chart, and as you can see, we are fighting. We are trying to create this third touch, right? We are trying to create this third touch when the bottoms, lower lows are connected, right? So maybe, just maybe, that's going to be the jumper. Maybe there is a preparation for something, right? But it's not going to happen as long as we are below 0.02. So let's switch to Ethereum versus dollar, and that's where you are going to get more answers. So, as you can see, 187.50. Thank you, Mer. I'm good. Thank you very much. I'm very good. 187. The key, in my opinion, here is 180. Any weekly close below this level might open the low towards 80 again. Right? So we are right now inside very narrow range, very similar to what we have on the Bitcoin, right? In between 200 and 180. And frankly, I would like to see more consolidation here with the preparation of the upside break. Otherwise, you know, the longer we are staying closer to 180, the bigger the possibility of the breakdown instead of the break to the upside here on the Ethereum. So let's do one thing. Let's move out of the background of the zones. It's gonna be better visible for you. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So what I would like to see, here, there was a first attempt to get back above 200, rejected, but we are trying to hold 180. That's the key, in my opinion, right? So we have to get back. First task is trying to get back as soon as possible above 200, and that's the task number one for the bulls on Ethereum. Let's have a look what we have on the Litecoin, which is falling lower, trying to hold this latest demand zone, right? So that's the latest demand zone. Doesn't look great, but how come? If we already agreed that as long as Ethereum versus Bitcoin is below 0.02, so Bitcoin may consolidate, but the rest may fall, right? And so that's how it looks on the Litecoin here. We are trying to hold the size of this pullback we've seen at the very beginning of April 2019, right? 2019. Okay, and then key is going to be the bottom of that breakout candle right over here. So we are around we are testing the 50% of that range, of that big candle from the late March, beginning of April, right here. Now there is one more thing which looks very, very negative here on Litecoin, because we might, and I have to take the background off, and I have to show you one thing. The candle from the mid-May, the breakout candle, right? The thing is that 2 weeks ago we broke through that low and we are not able to get back. So right now looks like 90 from the Litecoin perspective is like 200 for Ethereum. So 90 is the same huge supply here on the Litecoin, right? What else we can check? We can check Ripple. Also trying to consolidate. The good thing is, compared to Ethereum and compared to Litecoin, I know that there are not many big fans of the Ripple, right? But what the Ripple, oh sorry, it's not a Ripple. Here is the Ripple. I know that there are not many fans of the Ripple, right? But what we have to honestly say, last time I've mentioned that I can see that we are on the verge of the collapse on the Ripple, right? But since then, the bulls were able to try to get back above 25 cents after hitting 24, right? Right now we are 27. And the thing is, compared to what we've seen previously, compare with this line that if someone would ask me where we can have the squeeze, unfortunately I would be forced to say Ripple might be the very speculative name of the game here. All right, that's the name of the game, and I would watch the current price action very, very carefully here. So in case of the huge speculation, I would watch carefully Ripple, and in case of the move back above 31 cents, 31 cents, over here, the things might get interesting. Now, Mary is asking, BTC recovered 50%, but altcoins not able to go up, and what's the question? You know, probably there are plenty of different, maybe different word. As many traders and investors, that many explanations, most probably. So I can share only with my view, and you know, that might be good to check, and that's what we discussed some time ago, that would be good to check the altcoins behavior ahead of the Bitcoin halving, right? That's the one thing. The second thing is that when Bitcoin was going higher, and I was trying to be involved in few alts. And then my colleague told me, Piotr, Bitcoin is going higher. So when you are trying to take the advantage of the falling altcoins, meaning that you are selling the Bitcoin, meaning that you are going short Bitcoin against the trend, right? So maybe we need some kind of the consolidation, stabilization. And to be honest with you, it's worth to check, worth to discuss the behavior of the altcoins ahead of the halving. And that might be the thing that we might not see big altcoins rally till May 2020, when we are going to get the Bitcoin halving. But that's something worth to investigate much deeper. So in case, guys, you have some time over the weekend, might be good idea to try to check when was the last halving of the Bitcoin and how the alts was behaving, right? Of course, the next explanation might be that the Bitcoin, also might be good explanation that the Bitcoin is treated as a safe haven because of what is going on all around the world. Meaning that, as I mentioned at the very beginning of our meeting today, that some latest rally on the Bitcoin, the explanation was that we are going higher on Bitcoin because of the US-China trade war, right? That the tensions were growing. And that also quite good explanation, because if you are going to investigate the chart, when there was a rumors that everything is fine, we are talking with China, stocks went higher, Bitcoin went lower, right? So that's probably part of the good explanation as well. Again, as many traders and investors, that probably that many explanations into what is going on right now. I would take partially each explanation, and of course it's worth to monitor. So trying to summarize the thing with Bitcoin right now, to the upside 10,500 and then 10,800 and 11,000, to the downside psychological 10,000 and 9,800 as a demand. In case of the breakdown, in case of the break to the downside on the Bitcoin, we might open based on the equal waves here, here, and maybe we will fulfill this equal wave to the downside. So we are talking about the zone between 8,500, 8,200 and 7,800. But if we are going to have this action from here and the wave from here, so maybe market will try to play out first the scenario from 10,000 to rise towards 13,000. Exactly, Mer. It's exactly that's how it looks right now. And you know what? You can get your memory stick full of the Bitcoin and travel around the world, but you cannot get the full bag of the gold and travel around the world. That's something. So in case of the break to the upside through 11,000, that might expose something closer to 12,500, 13,000, right? So guys, that's it from me today in relation to the crypto market flow. There are some bumps on the road when we are talking about the other markets. Let's wait for the dust to settle, and we have tomorrow. Let me check. 27th. Yeah, we have tomorrow 8 AM CT or 7 AM London, and then again during the New York session we have 2 meetings tomorrow. So we are going to have plenty of times to discuss the current market behavior. I'm talking about the FX majors, I'm talking about the indices and gold, because again we had this very nervous situation on Friday, but over the weekend and today, even President Trump was trying to, probably he did understand what he said within the last 3 days, and he was trying to make the turn over. Let's wait for the dust to settle and we will get back to majors tomorrow. Guys, it was my pleasure. Thank you very much, Mer. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the Monday, and let's get back to work with majors tomorrow morning and then around the New York session. All the best, guys. Take care. Don't be trapped, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.